Today, we will learn a technique that will improve our reception of backspin and backside spin serves, increase reliability when playing against chops all over the table, and enhance our ball control, making our own backspin serves significantly stronger. Have you already guessed what this technique is? That's right, it's the forehand chop. When receiving, it helps you handle any backspin or backside spin serves. You just need to set the correct angle. Here is how you receive a pendulum serve, and here is how you receive a serve from the left, where the ball spins in the opposite direction. Set the angle, and the ball always lands on the table. The next situation is when you're playing for points. We serve a good backspin serve, but the opponent returns the ball at an awkward length to the forehand, and many people start making mistakes. When you master this technique, mistakes disappear. And of course, there's the feel for the ball. When you practice the chop, you start to better sense the backspin and how to handle the ball. Once you've mastered the technique, you'll understand how to sharply hit the right part of the ball to generate strong spin. At the end of the video, I'll show the difference between a flat chop, a classic chop, and a heavy chop. This is Ivan Tomachov with you, and this is a channel about table tennis. Here you'll get a lot of useful information that will significantly improve your game. Before you continue watching, subscribe to the channel. The chop is a technique with backspin. It is performed at the table and is used to receive backspin serves or to return your opponent's backspin shots. The forehand chop is one of the most difficult techniques. The difficulty lies in the fact that the movement is unnatural for us. We need to tuck our elbow in, lean forward a bit, and hit the ball in front of us and to the side, which causes a strong sense of discomfort at the beginning of learning. Let's take a detailed look at the technique and move on to training. Starting position. The athlete stands in a right-handed stance with the left foot in front and the right foot behind, half a foot back. When performing strokes, the position of the feet may change. If the ball is going to the edge of the table, we stand like this. If it's a bit shorter, we take a small step forward with the right foot. If it's a short ball, we take a big step. Backswing. During the backswing, the arm bends at the elbow, with the elbow positioned to the side of the torso at waist height. The arm is relaxed, the racket is held at about a 45-degree angle and is positioned slightly above the elbow of the playing arm. The body weight is on the right foot. Stroke. At the moment of the bounce, the arm begins to straighten. The forearm makes a smooth movement around the elbow and extends forward and downward. The wrist is relaxed, but at the same time stabilized and does not make any movements during contact. Contact is made with the lower part of the racket on the lower part of the ball. The right foot steps forward toward the ball during the stroke and slightly transfers the body weight, point of contact. The stroke is performed at the highest or ascending point of the ball's bounce. Playing from the right at the ascending point is significantly more difficult than from the left. We hit the lower part of the ball with the lower part of the racket. Stroke follow-through. The playing motion finishes above the table or just slightly above the surface level of the table. The racket blade is almost parallel to the surface of the table. The wrist follows through on the ball in the direction of the stroke. The elbow does not fully straighten. Support the channel with your activity, like, leave a comment, and subscribe. This is our motivation to do more and do better. And of course, I look forward to seeing you on Telegram. Now let's move on to the training. The first thing we start with is the feeling of grip. Exercise 1. Roll the ball along the racket. The racket is parallel to the table, palm side up. Place the ball on the racket and quickly roll it by extending your forearm. The goal is for the ball to move backward after bouncing, or to stay in place. Exercise 2. Take the ball, bounce it off the table, and sharply extend your forearm. Keep your wrist relaxed, but don't move it. The ball should fly off the table and roll back. If you manage to do this, it means you've started spinning the ball. Exercise 3. Bounce the ball on your side of the table and do the same thing, but with less force. Watch to see if the ball is spinning or not. For clarity, you can paint half of the ball. Excellent. You felt the grip. Now let's build up the technique. At the initial stage, learn to play at the highest point. This is necessary so that we can learn to handle the ball correctly. The ball may fly higher than usual. There's nothing wrong with that. Work on your shoulder and forearm. Exercise 1. Imitation. Stand in front of a mirror or set up a camera and start practicing the imitation. To better feel the acceleration and range of motion, swing back to your shoulder and extend forward as far as you can. Exercise 2. Do the same thing using the wheel. You can take a Velcro wheel, flip it over, and practice the strike. Exercise 3. Do the same thing, but now strike the ball. Place your hand on your shoulder, toss the ball, and let it start to rise. At its highest point, make contact with it. If, instead of spinning, you end up pushing the ball and it doesn't spin, you can set a reference point for your finish. We perform the stroke, and you need to finish the stroke by bringing the paddle to the racket and placing the blade at the same angle. This helps you play with a sharper angle. I use this exercise with kids and amateurs. It works effectively. Footwork. Here, it's important to learn how to approach the ball precisely. The elbow is always in line with the right leg. Exercise 1. We take steps with the right foot toward the table and to the side, for a short ball, for a medium ball, for a long ball, and for a medium ball to the side. Exercise 2. We take a step with the right foot while making a backswing. Exercise 3. We take a step with the right foot while simulating a stroke. Exercise 4. We take a step with the right foot and hit the ball, throwing it onto our own side of the table. Then take a step with a backswing and strike at the highest point of the ball's bounce. Now we combine everything together on the BKM. Exercise 1. The coach throws the ball, bouncing it off their own side. The athlete performs a single stroke. Exercise 2. The coach serves with backspin. The athlete returns the serve with backspin. Exercise 3. Stability practice. The coach serves, the athlete receives the serve with a chop and tries to keep the rally going as many times as possible. Congratulations! We have done a great job and can now master this element on our own. In the next videos, we will move on to top spins and other technical elements. Subscribe to the Telegram channel so you don't miss the announcement of new episodes. Now let's figure out how to perform 3 different types of chops: the classic, the heavy spin, and the flat chop. We've already covered the classic chop, which is performed with a gentle motion under the ball. It can be used in intermediate play and when receiving serves that aren't heavily spun. The heavy spin chop is a very strong backspin. Technically, it's the same chop or slice, but the spin is much greater. The goal of this shot is to prevent your opponent from starting an attack, to make them hit the ball into the net, or to force a passive return for your own attack. This technique is performed at the highest point near the table with a sharp motion under the ball using the wrist or in the mid-distance zone on a descending ball. Sometimes it is used when executing a chopped lob. It is most convenient to perform it against a chop or a flat ball with low speed and high above the net. A flat chop is performed like a regular chop, but the way the ball is struck is different. It can be performed in several situations, and the stroke technique will differ slightly in each. When receiving a flat serve, you immediately set a more open angle and the movement becomes more of a push. We push the ball along its lower part. The second option is during a rally. We serve with backspin, the opponent chops with underspin, and we approach the ball with the same angle, but at the moment of contact, instead of moving the racket under the ball, we sort of nudge the ball slightly upward so that it goes over the net on a low trajectory, and visually we finish the motion as if we have processed the ball. Inexperienced players make the same mistake when returning this ball. They see your chop and think, oh, a long ball, now I'll start an attack, and they hit it as if it has backspin. The ball flies out of bounds. The second possible scenario, the player tries to chop again, and in response, the ball either pops up high, making it easy to hit a flat winner, or it gets sliced out of bounds, which is also good for us. Make good use of this, develop your vision and understanding of the game, and the results will soon follow. The next episode on technique will be about the forehand topspin against topspin. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Give it a like and write in the comments how you use chops in your game. Subscribe to the Telegram group. There you'll be the first to know about new videos, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications. This was Ivan Tomachov with you. See you next time.